Hi, I'm Lam. Welcome back to Keeping Up with the Queen. Today, I'm here to tell you all about the Viseart Petit for Praline Eyeshadow Quad. So hungry. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. Please consider subscribing if you find this video helpful. I have a lot of video about makeup, skincare, fragrances. I would love for you to join this little community and we can learn and grow together with our love of makeup. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking around. I am gonna try my best to make better videos for you and I appreciate your support. But let's get to the point. Today is about the Viseart Petit Pro collection. First of all, I only get one palette out of the four quads that they released for this holiday in this little very cute line. Why? First of all, we need to be more conscious on what we are consuming and how much we buy and what we want, what we use, what we need, what we don't need, and the fear of missing out, how to control that. So I have a video on how to stop buying so much makeup, and with me at the center as the live example of buying too much makeup for my own good. I will link it down below as well as up here so you can check it out and hopefully learn something, or you can leave me your own tips in the comment section below. But for today, before you go watch that video, let's get to other reasons why I don't buy the whole collections. So first, it's because I don't want to just buy all of them just so that I have all of them. I want to be selective and only buy things that I really like, really impressed with, and actually will use. So the Praline, I was picking between the Praline and the chocolate. They seem to be a little deeper than the other two quads. From the photos to the swatches, it looks right up my alley. The first time they sneak peek it, I already loved it. So I knew I was gonna get it, and the price point is pretty fair too. So let me read more information for you. I'm going on the Viseart website here to read a little bit about this quad in particular. Introducing the Petit Force eyeshadow collection inspired by dainty pastry delicacies. These miniature treats feature mouth-watering matte, perfectly paired with sparkling sugary shades within four scrumptious eyeshadow quads. So they are retailing for $22 US for one quad, and you can get it on Viseart, Beauty Bay, Muse Beauty, and you can get a lot of bundles on different websites. And you know, it's a holiday, so they will have a lot of bundles and gift sets, so make sure to check out those websites. I got this from Viseart website on their Black Friday sale. It was like $16 after the sale, and then shipping was like $6, so it doesn't really make a difference. So I just basically get it for free shipping. That's what I did, but I thought that's much better than buying a bunch of palettes and then ended up wasting them or getting rid of them anyway. It's a lot of waste on the environment, and it's just not a very good way to spend your money. It's not very smart. So that's what I did, and I choose this. Now let's get right into it. First of all, the packaging is adorable. I love it. There we go. It's made in USA, and the expiration is 36 months. You pull it out like this. I'm going to have more of the photos of the packaging back and forth so you can see the ingredients and the shades name on my Instagram account at Keeping Up with W, the Queen. Make sure to check that out. But on here, we're going to focus on other things. Very tiny. The color of the packaging itself is very, very cute. It's a tan kind of a shade, and you open it like this, and it comes with a plastic top on top of the shadows to protect it, but I got rid of it. And inside there's no mirror. Instead you get Viseart. They are magnetic, so you can take them out and rearrange them however you want. You can interchange between the Petit Pro palette, the Petit 4 quads. It's roughly half the size of the Rosé palette. or the palette of the same size, but inside here, the pans of the shadows in the Rosé palette is actually smaller than the eye quads. 6 grams of product, 12 shades, there are 12 grams of product. It's exactly half the amount of shadows and only 4 shades, so each shade has more product in it. See, the Rosé palette has a mirror as well. I wish this one has, but I don't think it's a big deal because if I'm traveling or using or wearing makeup, I'm gonna have other products coming with a mirror already, so I don't really mind that. Okay, I'm gonna swatch them with my finger. First shade is Sucré. Shimmer slash probably velvet kind of finish. It's not really shimmery, it's not really matte, it's just right in between. Next is Caramélisé. This has some chunks of shimmers in it, so it's gonna be much more reflective. So it's a pinky champagne shade. The third shade I'm gonna swatch is called Praline, which is the shade, the name of the palette, and this one is a more similar formula to the Caramélisé. It's a more poppy kind of a shimmer formula. It's a bronzy Pecan, which is a matte medium brown. Caramélisé and Praline have multiple kind of multi-color glitter when you see it under sunlight, but in here it just looks kind of like very shimmery, and the shade Sucré glittery formula, and it's not really junky glitter, not like these two anyway. And this last shade Pecan, it seemed so much deeper in the promo picture and the swatches online, but when I swatch on my medium olive skin tone, it looks more of like a medium dark kind of a transition shade rather than a smoke shade, so we'll see how it looks on the eyes. I didn't tell you another reason why I bought the Praline palette. Rosé Edit palette from Viseart. I did rearrange them into 4 different areas here, and you can see clearly why I bought the Praline. This row right here is my favorite row. Whenever I reach for this palette, I only use this row for the last like at least 6 months. Every time I use the Rosé palette, I go for this row. Here we go. You can clearly see a color resemblance because I keep using this, only these colors. And I'm wondering, oh, because these pens are so small, what if I run out of the shades in here? I'm very happy to get this. So now whenever I want this kind of a look or take it to go with me, I can reach for this one if they're the same. So now we're gonna see if that's true. I am going to swatch, I have no idea what the names of these shades are, but I'm going to swatch this shade, and this shade from the Rosé Edit palette. Okay, so I think the most similar shade is actually the last shade that I swatched. It's actually pretty similar to the first shade on here in the Praline palette. I think it's Sucré. It's the same formula as these 2 shades, but you can see they are not the same. The one in the Praline is a lot deeper. They look pretty similar in the pan, but I'm happy to report that the Pecan shade in the Praline quad is a lot deeper than the transition shade from the Rosé Edit palette, and so it's also a lot warmer in tone. This one is a lot more cool tone. That's why I thought, oh my god, every time I use this shade, it takes me forever to build it up on my eye because it's so light. Regardless, they are pretty much the same kind of idea, and I'm glad to figure that out because now I know what kind of a color scheme that I like in eyeshadows. This is it, you guys. That is the comparison and the swatches. I think all the shades swatch beautifully per usual. I don't have any doubts when it comes to Viseart eyeshadow formula. I just rarely use the Rose Edit palette because, you know, I said the pan is so small, I don't want to run out of the shades. But now that I have this, I'm going to use much more of Viseart eyeshadow formula and learn more about them and hopefully keep you guys updated. Now let's get to the demo part and my final conclusion where I do this eye look and spill all the tea about my final thoughts on this Praline eyeshadow quads from Viseart. Let's go. First of all, I will get a big fluffy brush. I'm going to dip it into Sucré, which is this shimmery, I don't know if you can see it, but it translates. I use this shade right here on my eyelid and it translates a lot warmer on my skin than it is in the pan. So in the pan it looks like a neutral beige, but on my eyelid combined with my warm olive medium skin tone, it really gets warm. Then let's do a little bit of focus. Outer corner moment, I'm going to use this brush that comes with Urban Decay palette, and we're going to use this side right here and dip into the deepest shade. Focus that on the outer corner. I'm also going to run that shade down on the outer half of my lower lash line. First brush, dip into the first color to blend things out a little bit. And then I'm going to use this flat smaller brush, dip into Caramélisé. Gonna use that in the inner corner and on the brow bone. Last but not least, I'm gonna have this flat side brush and I'm going to try to dip into Praline, which is the title name of the palette. And this is, I guess, the pop shade. I'm going to put it on all over my eyelid. This is the final look. What do you think? So, my final conclusion on the Viseart Petit Praline palette is the following. First of all, I love the color scheme. As I stated before, this is my favorite kind of look. It's very everyday friendly, and initially I thought that it was gonna be able to transform into nighttime, but after I use it I realized that it's probably not gonna be able to transform into a nighttime look because this is probably the most intense it's ever gonna get on me. This shade is a medium to deep shade, but I would say this shade on my medium olive skin tone is more of a transition shade rather than a smoke shade, okay? And this shade right here, okay, the shade that I have been talking about is Pecan, the darkest shade. Sucré, which is the lighter transition shade right here, is almost exactly as my skin tone. So it's a little bit deeper, a little bit warmer than my skin tone. So I would say that this shade is a very nice one and done kind of a look. And I'm gonna go all over the palette, the quad on another video where I will try to create 4 different looks, and then we will see how versatile and how many different looks we can create with this quad. But today, for the first time using it, I really like it for everyday use. I think it's great for traveling. So slim, so compact and light, and this kind of material is good for the environment. It's much better than plastic because it's more of a cardboard kind of a packaging, so I love that. I like that it can be removed and interchangeable, so if you happen to get other palettes from the Petit line, or down the line if they release more quads like this and you get 2 or 3 and you can interchange them depend on your mood and where you want to go. There is no deepened shade really on my skin tone, and across the board if you are darker than my skin tones, probably the best choice would be the chocolate palette or this palette, because the lila and the pink one, they don't really have any depth in them at all. The only advice I could give Viseart is that be more inclusive in your lines. You already have a wonderful formula for eyeshadow. You already have great innovative ideas with the smaller quads and the smaller pans, and your Petit line is amazing. And you have very artistic and thorough color scheme in every of your palettes. But the only thing I would give you as an advice is to go deeper. Be more inclusive in every release you're putting out, because you have 4 quads on this line and not really much depth. So that's the only thing that I have to say. And also, I love the price point. I think it's fair. You can get it in bundles, on sale, and it will be great. And what else can you ask for, to be honest? Alright, that is all my thoughts for this first impression / review / comparison video on the Praline palette from Viseart. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this palette and the other palette in the Petit 4 lines. Are you looking forward to the next release of these quads, or you want them to be releasing more bigger palettes? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my future uploads. There are a lot coming at the end of the year. I am excited. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in my next one. Until next time, don't flop.